LoreWarrior Aerotech, Merchant Class Jumpship. The Merchant Class Jumpship is the smallest jumpship used by independent traders, corporations and mercenary units. It is the second smallest jumpship still in use and can carry up to 2 dropships. The ship's name was derived from its intended market at the time of its design. The Merchant masses at 120,000 tons and is just over 320 meters long. At full deployment, the jump sail is just under a kilometer in diameter. The vessel's 2 docking hardpoints are located along a reinforced portion of the cargo section, about midway down its length. Also located on the long cylindrical cargo section are a pair of doors, each facing one of the docking hardpoints. Behind each door is an airlock leading to 3 independent cargo bays, each capable of holding 200 ton of cargo. On either side of the cargo section is a small craft bay. These bays are completely independent and aren't connected except by standard passage corridors. Just forward of the cargo section is a cylindrical section known as the grav deck. This deck rotates independently of the hull of the ship and provides occupants with a simulated sensation of gravity. The deck is approximately 5 meters wide and 40 meters in diameter. Crew or passengers can use the grav deck only when the vessel's drives are shut down or simply at station keeping mode. Any greater acceleration puts too much stress on the motor bearings and can cause the deck to malfunction or rotate with a great deal of noise or vibration. The deck itself is essentially a gigantic lounge and recreation centre. On some vessels with smaller crews, this section is partitioned into independent rooms for use as crew quarters. Because the Merchant normally carries a crew of only 20, the grav deck seems especially spacious. At the front end of the Merchant is the unusually roomy bridge. Ringing the walls of this large dome-shaped area are a set of large viewports. At the centre of the bridge is a raised platform, mounting the captain's command chair and monitoring consoles. Surrounding the captain on the deck below are the pilot's positions, engineering monitoring stations, various tracking monitors, and so forth. The Merchant is one of the oldest jumpship designs still in use. The original ship had twice the crew, and now a portion of the cargo section occupies the former crew quarters. The original bridge was designed for 6 crew plus the captain. The bridge of the current version has been rewired so that the 2 people can operate the ship, with a single person at the pilot station and the other at the navigator's station. A problem that's plagued the Merchant since the days of the First Succession War is the lack of replacement parts for the jumpship's power converters. It makes the average Merchant's recharge time 10 to 20% greater than that of other jumpships, and delays both the solar energy collection process and the quick charge process. Because most Merchants are privately owned and operated, their onboard facilities vary greatly. These range from the remodelling of various rooms to a complete reconstruction of the ship's interior. One of the most common variations is a simple module that fits into the ship's cargo bay to form an airtight seal with the cargo bay access hatch. Massing no more than 20 to 100 ton, the module can be used as an extra lounge, crew quarters, controlled environment, and so on. A standard combination module masses 100 tons, including the recreation room, large stateroom, independent life support system, backup power supply, and an airlock for accessing the rest of the cargo bay. Though large numbers of the Merchant-class jumpship operate throughout the successor states, the greatest concentration is within the Lyran Commonwealth. It's estimated that 40% of all Merchant-class jumpships currently operate within the borders of the Commonwealth. Yes, the Merchant class, 120,000 tons, 320 meters length, 950 meters sail diameter with a crew of 18 and 2 small craft pilots. It can carry 2 dropships as 2 small craft complements, probably shuttles, probably not fighters, though I suppose it could be at a pinch, couldn't it? A couple of light fighters for personal defence. KF Mark V drive system, first introduced in 2503 and is quite commonly cited. Its other stats, let's see, anything of interest there. 2 docking hard points. Armour factor is 8 points per ton, 240 overall, so 30. The command section has 20, 30, 30, nose, right and left side. Cargo section 45 on each side, and engine section 25, 25, and station keeping drive 20. So, that's about it really for the information on that one. It is one of the most important jump ships out there because, as it says, for a long time, it will have been used by everyone from small or to medium mercenary companies that could either rent one or own one of their own later on. but also by a lot of independent entities out there in the inner sphere, which is kind of cool. The idea is these jump ships are common, but also not owned by for the majority, by the great powers of the inner sphere. So you can do a lot with that as a GM. You can you can explain, like, that's why how players can get about to certain locations that they may not supposed to be in, that kind of thing. And you've got like maybe a few privately owned merchant class owners who are willing to undertake tasks that might be a little bit illegal, for instance, trying to get you to a location or smuggling, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's pretty cool. As always, they look weird, the merchant class, any of the jump ships, but another little expansion there. But one of the interesting things is the way that it mentions this is kind of commonly seen. You still have to take into account that jump ships aren't super common in the inner sphere. They're not things that are just rolling off a production line. It still takes the remaining factories from 3025 onwards. Well, even before 3025. But if we were to pick the original point of the TRO, from 3025 right up to, say, the 3060s, probably, that kind of length of time that these vehicles weren't being produced all that regularly. Probably a couple of dozen a year from some plants. Maybe in total you might see 40 or 50 across the entire inner sphere, which isn't a lot. And then you've got to take into account that some older ones break down, some get lost, either through accident, piracy, or just, there's just assholes out there who will blow up a jump ship. So, stuff like that can happen. So the numbers never really creep up that much, which is why jump ships are so rare and so important across the inner sphere. That's why they're held on to quite jealously by anyone who does own one. So, that was the merchant class. Hope you have a good week. Thanks for listening, as always, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.